Good morning, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, all those who are listening at home and abroad. Welcome to Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9. At this time, we're about to start a Cop Chat for today. Every Thursday, we bring it to you from 8 o'clock to 9. In studio this morning, we have Mr. Junior Simmons. He's the Assistant Superintendent of Police. And today, we're going to be talking about dealing with public complaints. You know, sometimes people have a little grievance with a police officer or two. This morning, you're going to learn exactly how to deal with that and the purpose of the Public Complaints Department within the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force. As usual, the number to get interactive, you can call us at 457-9997, and the WhatsApp number is 457-9994. Good morning, ASP Simmons. How are you this morning?
Good morning. Good morning, Christal. And pleasant good morning to the listeners of WEFM, clean, fresh sound. And those who are viewing on social media to the Cop Chat program today. Special good morning to the hierarchy of the police force, commissioner, and every other rank. Good morning to my staff at Public Relations and Complaints Department and at the Anti-Trafficking Process Unit. I'm well. I'm very happy to be here this morning to interact with you and the public.
All right, lovely. So let's start out with the roles and responsibilities or the purpose of the Complaints Department.
Yes. Well, first of all, the Public Relations and Complaints Department was established in the Royal Simmons Grenadines Police Force on January 4th, 1999. So we are approximately 24 years old, thereabout. And the main purpose of this department, we are responsible for entertaining, recording, and investigating all complaints that are made against police officers by members of the general public. And these complaints range from misconduct, unnecessary use of power or force, abuse of authority, insultive language, failure to perform your duty, and many others.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So how does one go about the process of making a complaint?
All right. So it's very straightforward, and we encourage the public to, once you have a grievance and it is legitimate, to file a complaint against a police officer or police officers who you have a grievance with. Now, in making a complaint, you first and foremost are encouraged to visit the office at Central Police Station in person, because we over time we'll have people come into the office to make a complaint on behalf of a relative or friend.
Mm.
But once that complainant is an adult, they are encouraged to visit the office to make the complaint in person, or you can call the department. Our telephone number is 485-6891, 485-6891.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can send us an email. And we are living currently in the age of social media, Christal. So you can also send us a message on our Facebook page and our other social media pages, WhatsApp, and we would entertain that complaint. And naturally, if you use those mediums, email and social media, at some point you'd have to come in, so that we can have interaction with you and record a statement if necessary.
Okay.
But also, as a complainant, you're also given the option of writing your own statement as well.
Okay, lovely. You said legitimate complaint. What is a legitimate complaint and what is an illegitimate complaint?
All right. Well, we are dealing with the rule of law. With law, it's similar to the court system, right? Some complaints can be baseless and without merit. For example, if you're making a complaint or an allegation against a police officer, you must have the evidence to support it. And, it must be something real, something that actually happened, not any made up story. The incident must have occurred, and you are aggrieved, and you come and make the complaint. Now, that would be legitimate. But if it is, as we say, with some legal terms, frivolous, without merit, then we'll entertain you, yes, and we look into the matter. But at the end of the day, if there's no evidence to support it, then the matter will not go any further. I must say that all complaints that we receive at the department, we must inform the Deputy Commissioner of Police, Mr. Frankie Joseph. He is my immediate supervisor in charge of public relations. So every complaint that we receive, we have to inform him in writing and also verbally. And when the complaints are investigated, they are completed, the file is forwarded to him for his perusal and for onward transmission to the Commissioner of Police, who would make a final determination on the matter at hand.
When you say final determination, what do you mean? As in, okay, we will go ahead, or we need to, this is illegitimate. He's the one who decides whether or not.
Okay, right. So when I say final determination, there are three things that can happen here. So, Christal, if you made an allegation or complaint against me for abuse, the matter was investigated, completed, the file is sent to the Deputy Commissioner of Police. He would then send it on to the Commissioner of Police. The Commissioner of Police can do three things. He can, first of all, direct that disciplinary action be taken against the police officer or officers. When I say disciplinary action, I mean internally, in accordance with the Police Act. Because we are disciplinary organization, and if you do not conform to the rules and regulations, you can be disciplined, you can be charged internally. So that's one option. Number two, the commissioner, he can in turn send the file to the Director of Public Prosecution based on the nature and the gravity and the seriousness of the allegation or complaint made, for advice from the DPP whether or not we should proceed criminally in open court with that matter. And thirdly, the commissioner, having looked at the evidence in the file, can decide that there isn't enough evidence here to continue the matter. So the matter, can be, well, the officer can be exonerated there and then, and the matter, as we say in court, dismissed. So the procedure is similar to what pertains in the court system.
What can be used as evidence in these sort of cases?
All right, so evidence can be a multitude of different things. First of all, we would go on the complainant's statement, their story. All right. We can also use video evidence And I can tell you, we have used that before. Video evidence from the location where the incident allegedly happened. We can also use other witnesses who would have seen what transpired. We also use evidence from phones, cellular phones, text messages, WhatsApps, even emails. So, we have a myriad of different sources from which we can gather evidence to ensure that, remember, in these matters, we are looking for the truth and justice, either for the complainant, the person who is making a complaint against the police, or the police officer who would be the defendant.
Okay.
So our duty is to ensure that justice is done to either party.
Okay.
That is our main objective at the end of the day.
Okay. I know that we're talking about complaints for the most part, but in a case where there is video evidence of abuse,
Yes.
but the complainant or the victim in that scenario does not want to go forward with a complaint, what can happen in that situation, especially when that video becomes viral and the public gets involved in it emotionally and otherwise? What can happen in that instance?
That's a very good question, Christal. Very good question. And you will notice that I'm equating our procedure to the law courts. In the law courts, if a complainant or victim refuses or decide that they're not going to give evidence in a court matter, in a matter or a case, more than likely that matter would be dismissed in our jurisdiction. In other jurisdictions, the matter can go forward. Pertaining to your question, if there's video evidence of an alleged abuse by a police officer or police officers against a member of the public, and that person or victim decides that they do not want to take the matter any further, the Commissioner of Police, based on the serious nature of the allegation, can still proceed to bring disciplinary charges against that police officer or those police officers in the interest of the public, and also in accordance with the rules and regulation of the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force. We are police officers. We are peace officers. We protect and serve the public, and we are not above the law. We are not above the law. We are subjected to the law like everybody else. Yes, we enforce the law. The law gives us tremendous powers and authority, but we have to do so in accordance with the law. And just like how any other citizen would fall short or breach the law, and they are made to pay for it, police officers can also suffer the same fate as well. If you do not conduct your duty in accordance with the law, then that same law can be used against you. And we are trained as police officers to always be professional, courteous, disproportionate, and impartial when it comes to executing our duties. That is something that the Commissioner of Police and others in the police force, the senior officers, the supervisors, would drill into their subordinates on a daily basis at the police training school. So it's left up to the police officer, the individual, on the given day and time when they're executing the duty, to remember what they were taught, what they learned, and what the law says. How much force you're allowed to use. Because you have to realize as well that the law is for everybody, including you.
Okay.
Yes.
So for the officers who either in the spur of the moment forget or neglect to conduct themselves in a fashion that is expected of them as police officers, can you tell us what the disciplinary actions are, and that can be held or handed down to that individual?
All right. So before I answer that question directly, I want to say as well that police officers, we are not perfect. We are human beings just like, everyone else. And from time to time, we would make mistakes. We would be over exuberant at times. It's not something that we're asking people to condone, but I'm just saying that we're humans and that would happen at times. Now, the Police Act gives the Commissioner of Police several options in terms of dealing with a police officer who would have breached the rules and regulations. You can be charged, on several counts. You can be charged for neglect of duty, dereliction of duty, abuse of power, insultive language, cowardice. But what I want to say is this: the maximum fine for any police officer on a single charge that they are found guilty or they were convicted on and found guilty internally is $250. So for example, if you receive about six charges, and you are found guilty on all counts, then you have to do the math on that. You can be, that's the maximum. It's not that the presiding officer would recommend that, but that's the maximum. And as a matter of fact, let's say if the presiding officer decides that they're going to charge you or fine you $100 on each count, the Commissioner of Police has the final say. He can increase it, or he can also decrease it as well. So the police regulations and the Act, it is there to guide police officers on how to conduct themselves properly, professionally, when executing their duties, to protect themselves in the public.
Okay. Now it's 8:27. We have to take a break at this time. When we come back, we have a few more questions to ask ASP Simmons, and we acknowledge that you have sent in some questions and comments on the WhatsApp as well, and we will get to those after we take the break. The WhatsApp number for those who just joined us is 457-9994. The number to call 457-9997, and when we return as well, we get a bit more interactive. Let's take a break and come right back.
Right off the Leeward Highway on the Old Bookama Road is where you would find Pinchers Transport and Blocks and Hardware, a one-stop shop for all your building and construction needs, from foundation to roof. They offer building materials, sand, Radica, cement and stone, 4, 6 and 8-inch blocks, backhoe rental and trucking service. Their hardware section offers electrical and plumbing fittings, carpentry and farming tools and materials, automotive and repair, home care cleaning and DIY repairs, all under one roof. Call 458-7591 or 533-1576. Visit Mondays to Fridays from 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturdays 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Sundays 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pinchers Transport Blocks and Hardware, where quality meets price. No project too small. Here to serve you.
People's Pharmacy, for all your pharmaceutical, skin and body care needs. Located on Grenville Street in Kingstown. They open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., Monday to Saturday. Call them today at 784-456-1170. People's Pharmacy also stock vitamins and supplements, personal care items, toiletries, children and adult pampers, and much, much more. And of course, get your prescriptions filled by a friendly and professional pharmacist. People's Pharmacy. Come in today and let us serve you. Introducing the new and exciting line of refreshingly healthy drinks. Look for
the Blue Waters brand.
Available right now at your leading grocery stores and supermarkets.
Blue Waters juice drink.
In sparkling cran apple, cran grape, or cran lime.
Blue Waters also produce a line of cranberry-infused beverages with lime, apple, grape, and more.
There's also bottled water in various sizes. Also, look for the juice drinks from Blue Waters in orange, pink grapefruit, apple, and grape.
Blue Waters brand.
Local agents, Log Enterprises. Call us today at telephone number 784-456-2936. Located in Lower Middle Street, Rose Place, Kingstown.
Beautiful white and black sand beaches, lush mountains and valleys, rivers, hidden waterfalls, and multiple islands and islets. St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are a friendly people, welcoming tourists from all over the world with exotic boutique and luxury hotels and a hospitable business environment. Let's make all tourists welcome at our international airport, on cruises, on yachts, on sailboats, on land and sea tours, at beach lines, at our restaurants, shops and bars, and at our national festivals. St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Tourism is everyone's business. Live it, love it, embrace it.
Tourism is everyone's business. Live it, love it, embrace it.
Hola amigos! The Awesome Family Circus comes to SVG. Bring the whole family to the Victoria Park on the Easter weekend for 4 spectacular shows. Come and enjoy great family entertainment with clowns, magicians, acrobats, and much, much more. The Kids Play Park is open on Sunday and Monday from 1 p.m. Tickets 40 adults, 20 for the kids. Available at Pickles 1 and 2, the Pembroke Summer Station, Country Mart in Georgetown, Chill Spot, Diamond Groceries 1 and 2, Four Shells Restaurant, St. Vincent. Don't miss the biggest family event to be held in SVG in decades. It's the Awesome Family Circus, sponsored by Vitamol, the NLA, in collaboration with Easy Bake, Island Sip, Soca Cola, Digicel, and Ticket Pal.
Ole, 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 ole. Feeling hot, hot, hot.
If you are a woman between the age of 40 to 60 and you feel hot, raise your hand. Yes, you are beautiful, but you also might be experiencing the big M, a critical transition in every woman's life. So bring a girlfriend and come join us on Friday, March 31st at the Russell Auditorium, Stony Ground at 6 p.m. Come meet expert consultant OBGYN presenters, Dr. Sandra Biner from Barbados and Dr. Camille Nichols of SVG. Let's talk about what perimenopause and menopause means and how they affect you. Tickets are $100 and available at Carrer's Pharmacy. Friday, March 31st, 6 p.m. at the Russell Auditorium. Menopause matters.
WEFM 99.9.
The 23rd day of March 2020 about complaints against the police this month. If you have any questions or comments, the WhatsApp number is 457-9994. The number to call is 457-9997. In studio with us is Mr. Junior Simmons. He's the Assistant Superintendent of Police. So let's continue the discussion. Let's entertain some thoughts from the listening audience. Good morning, Christal. What happens if the allegation is factual, but the accused is guilty? The accused is guilty. Oh boy. But he or she is a personal friend of the commissioner. If he dismisses the case, what further steps can he or she take, the complainant, to see that the accused is punished?
Well, first of all, we are a professional organization and we act impartially when it comes to our duty. So if someone makes a complaint against a police officer and the evidence is there to prove the allegation, the commissioner will not and cannot dismiss it. He has to take action, whether internally through disciplinary action or pass on the file to the DPP office for further instructions and investigations.
Okay. There's another one coming in on the WhatsApp. The police need to get back to the complainant to tell them what action has been taken, if any, and tell him or her what has become of the report. The police may take action, but the complainant doesn't know.
Okay, so let me answer that. That is exactly what we do. Whenever a complaint is investigated and completed, my office, Public Relations Complaints Office, will call the complainant or invite them to the office and inform them about the findings, and we'd also do the same to the police officer or the police officers, let them know, what the final result in the matter. Mm-hmm. That is something that we do currently. Also want to say as well that members of the public, they also have the option of instituting private legal action against a police officer whom they believe or think would have abused them, etc. Mm-hmm. So besides coming to the Public Relations Complaints Department to lodge a complaint, you can also institute private legal action as well. And that has been done on a number of occasions in the courts.
Okay. And that goes for cases. I suspect that there are some complaints that the public would not generally know about, or some complaints that don't go viral. Would that be the same case for cases or complaints that the general public becomes invested in, the end result? I know I've seen from time to time investigations are ongoing about something. A call is coming through, so let's take a pin on that question. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, folks. Good morning, to the officer there. I have a question for you, sir.
Yes, please.
When a complaint is filed against a police officer, right?
Yes.
Or a member of the public, does the complainant, how do they find out if the case is being, how do they find out the end result of the case?
All right.
How do they know the police officer is being charged you know?
I'm happy to answer you. Right. So when a complaint is filed against a police officer by a complainant, the Office of Public Relations Complaint, we would be in come with that person, giving them updates along the way. And when the matter is completed, the investigation is completed and the final adjudication takes place, we would inform that person, that complainant, about it, whether by telephone or invite them to the office and give them that information. And we also do the same for the police officers or police officer involved in that complaint.
Okay. Now let's talk a bit. Well, right. The question that I asked before, complaints that the public gets integrally involved and invested in, is the same courtesy extended to us in terms of the end result, not the investigations are ongoing part, but the end result of it.
The end result,
As
if
in
it,
whether or not that officer has been charged or has it been dismissed.
yes, once an investigation is launched into an allegation,
Mhm.
once it is completed, the parties that are involved in it will be notified, will be informed about its completion and what decisions were taken
Okay.
at the end of it.
Right. But I mean, for me, okay, so something gets out into the media talks about it, you hear it all over the entire country. I'm not involved in it, I'm not a complainant. Do we get that information too for those instances where it gets to the media level?
If I understand you correctly, you're asking if the police would make public statements or issue press releases
Uh-huh.
on the results of certain investigations.
Certain ones, right.
Yes, that is something, that's part of our duty. So that is something that we do from time to time.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now, some people are not confident in the process for one of two reasons. The first one is because the public relations, it's a public relations and complaints department. And the two entities by name are conflicted because public relations is to promote and complaints is when you get into trouble. I know in the past we have asked about that conflict in public relations and complaints, and it was said that you are working on separating the two.
Yes.
How close are we to this, the end separation?
Okay. Yes. This has been a perennial question. And I want to say that I totally agree with you, Christal, and the public, that it is oxymoronic to have the public relations department and the complaints department in one together. They must and should be separated. It has been this way since the 4th of January, 1999. So it is long overdue for these departments to be autonomous departments within the police force. My predecessors advocated this. I have advocated it as well. I continue to do so. And the commissioner and the hierarchy, they have taken certain steps to move towards separating both departments. Last year, the commissioner commissioned a task force to conduct some restructuring within the police force. And one of the issues that task force was charged with is to come up with a good proposal to separate the public relation from complaints. That report has been submitted to the commissioner and to the executive command of the police force. We have had several discussions on it, and we're moving towards separating the departments. The pace at present, can be faster, but I'm very hopeful that it would happen sometime this year. As a matter of fact, I can say this, that we are presently looking into, a separate space for the complaints department. You know, we're at the stage where we're looking for space because,
Okay.
you know, if you have to separate them, we must find space to put one of them. So that's where we are. We're looking for space to separate them. So the public can be rest assured that these departments would be separated. They would be separated.
Okay.
Because we cannot go on forever like this.
And then every time we have a discussion, it can't be coming up each and every single time. When is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? Now, as it stands now, the same persons who are responsible for complaints are responsible for public relations.
Correct. So on one hand, you're promoting the police force, you're boosting the image of the police force, you're seeking to improve the relations with the public. And on the other end, you're entertaining complaints from the very civic against police officers. So this is not a marriage that can last. It will not end happily. So it needs to be dissolved, and you know, go our separate ways.
Right. And you can understand and appreciate why some persons might be apprehensive to making complaints, and some things will just stay quote unquote on the street, because that negatively affects their confidence. Now, here's another one here. It seems like there are no other options for the complainant. The buck stops with the commissioner. That's not right. There should be other options to explore. And likewise, if the person reported a false allegation, they should be charged and brought before a judge.
All right. So let me answer the caller. Maybe he or she didn't hear what I said earlier. There, besides the Commissioner of Police instituting disciplinary action against the police officer or police officers, or which are in the case, he can also send the file on to the DPP office for prosecution. That can be done. Also, the complainant have the option of taking private legal action against the police officer or police officers. So there are many different options available to the complainant.
Okay. Now, is it possible for complaint? Oh, wait, no, there's a call. Hold a second. Hello, good morning.
Pleasant good morning, Christal.
Welcome.
Pleasant good morning, ESP.
Yeah, good morning, Commissioner Charles.
Very interesting program. And I must commend Christal for the since she could turn up at WEFM. A lot of interesting programs are going on. It's very good for the public. Simmons, what people need to know also is that there's not only the police complaint department that they can report matters to, because there's the police oversight committee.
Yes, I was
they can also, yes, they can also go through that, and a lot of people have been using that avenue. Yes, and one of the things that people have to realize also that if a matter is being investigated by the police, and when it comes to that officer being charged, if he is being charged, the complainant also have to give evidence in the matter. So it's not just the police, the complainant is also involved. It's just like a case matter, and as you quite rightly said, it depends on the circumstances. The commissioner can also send the file on to the DPP for the advice.
Yes.
Yes, so people need, we've been getting the talk over the years that the police is investigating the police, but you can see over the years that there's a lot that the police can be proud of in this, because there are many cases where officers have been dismissed, you know what I mean? And we have to be proud of that, because in my view, the police is doing a wonderful job. I tend to agree with you. I mean, it's time to separate the public relations and the complaint. But as it is right now, there's no better place to deal with a complaint than the public relations. because that's actually what the public relation is doing. They relation to the public what is taking place. But yes, I agree. And Christal, you keep up the good work.
Thank you.
And good programs, woman.
All right. Thank
Christal,
you.
That's my contribution.
Yes,
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
thank you very much, Commissioner Charles. I just want to expand on what the Commissioner said because I had those things to talk about. So there's also the Police Oversight Committee. This is a committee that comprises of civilians. The chairperson is his name is eluding right now, but Mr. Denson Douglas is a member of the committee. Mr. Stephen Huggins, a lawyer, is a member of the committee, and the chairperson is Bishop. He's a bishop in the New Testament church, not Mr. Ferdinand. He's the overseer of the New Testament church. So his name just eluded me. I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry about that right now. So persons can also lodge complaints to that committee as well. I also want to expand on the procedure with regards to disciplinary action. It is called order room. It's
Order room. Orderly room.
Yes.
Okay.
It's similar to the court system, where there's a prosecutor. Whenever these matters have been heard, there's a prosecutor, and the prosecution is done by lawyers in the police force. Over 2 years ago, the commissioner established the Legal Research and Policies Unit within the police force. It's a unit that is staffed with lawyers and other legal experts. So they would prosecute the matter. There would also be a hearing officer, like a magistrate, who would hear the evidence, and the police officer who is accused would give evidence. The complainant would give evidence, and also other witnesses would give evidence as well. And the accused police officers, they can also hire legal counsel to defend them during these orderly room sessions. So while it is not a court, but it has all of the hallmarks and the processes of a court, but it is done internally and in accordance with the Police Act, the rules and regulations.
Something else that comes up from time to time, and we have 9 minutes left, is the fact that the investigations are done by police officers against police officers. Is there a possibility? I know you mentioned the separate entity
Yes,
that
the Police
persons can-
Oversight Committee.
Right, oversight committee. But if you go through the complaints department, is there a possibility for that section to be a bit more independent? Some persons have been asking that in the past.
Which section?
The complaints department within the RSVGPF.
Mhm.
You have your oversight committee
Right.
that is independent of the police force.
Yes.
But is there a possibility for that independence to be the same within the complaints department, or it has to be whenever cases come through or complaints come through the complaints department within the force, it has to be investigated by police?
Okay, right. So if a member of the public comes to the department to lodge a complaint against a police officer, yes, we would initiate the investigation, and we can also send it on as well to the Police Oversight Committee for their advice and action and their own intervention as well. And from time to time, they would also inquire from the Public Relations and Complaints Department, inquire into certain investigations that are being conducted as well. So that's just another layer whereby the public can seek redress whenever they have a complaint against the police.
Okay. And somebody's giving you the name is Bishop?
No, not Porter. not Bishop Porter.
Somebody else. So there is a possibility once a complainant has filed his or her complaint that he or she might withdraw it.
Yes.
What's that process, and what are some of the reasons why they might want to do that?
All right. So a complainant can withdraw their complaint against a police officer at any time. They can do so at any time. However, certain steps must be followed. This must be done in writing. So, for example, if Mary Jane made a complaint against me and they no longer wish to pursue it, they would have to come to the department and give or make a written statement stating that they do not want to continue with that complaint. The police officer or officers in question, they would also be informed about it. But make no mistake, even if the complainant withdraws the matter, the Commissioner of Police can still pursue the investigations based on the nature and the gravity of the complaints or the allegation. The Commissioner can still pursue it and institute disciplinary action against that police officer.
Okay. Now, my final question for this morning. If it is that a matter gets as far as entering or going forward to the DPP and then entering the court system, does that police officer remain a police officer? Is he put on suspension? He or she put on suspension? What happens in that case?
Okay. Right. So we are dealing with the law. Yeah,
A call is coming through, so stick a pin on the answers just so that we can get the listenership. Hello, good morning.
Morning, you just stole my soul of praise that I always use, Mary Jane. But I also use John Doe number 1 also. But there doesn't seem to be any transparency in terms of the police brutality complaints. Something happened, and then you it's an investigation, and then you don't hear nothing else about it. Nothing more, no more about it. You can't come and tell to the public if there's something in the police constitution that prevents a statement being issued. Say, we investigated, we found no charges, we investigated, and somebody is culpable or something.
Yes.
Is there something in the contract that you cannot come back with a statement?
No, caller. There's nothing that prevents the police from updating the public on
don't hear no
certain matters.
Is investigating, and we don't hear nothing else no more.
What we do, we update or inform the complainant about the conclusion of the investigation.
But that released to just like on your on the beat program, every week you come with a list of who you lock up, who get arrested for this and that. Why can't that be included in that police program that you have on radio?
Or this one?
We can issue release from time to time on these matters, caller. Yes, nothing is preventing us from.
No,
from
I never heard any of that. I listen to the beat program regularly. I don't. All I hear is about who you arrested and charged.
Yeah. Well, we
anyway, that's your answer. Have a good day, guys.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Another call is coming through. Let's say this one quickly. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I'd like to send over greetings.
Okay, caller, you'd have to call back. Hello? You have to call back after 9 o'clock, all right? Call me at 9:15, okay?
After 9 o'clock?
Yes, 9:15 on the dot.
Oh, 9:15.
Yes, please. All right, thank you so much. Take care. Now, let's get to the answer, right? If the case gets to the court, what happens to that officer? Is he still at work? Is he on suspension? What can happen?
All right. First and foremost, a person is innocent until proven guilty, right? And that also goes to police officers who find himself on the other side of the law. So if a police officer was arrested and charged for an offense, that police officer would be suspended. They would not be suspended before they are arrested and charged. They would be suspended after they are arrested and charged. And they would either be placed on half-month salary or no salary at all, or full salary. Those are the options. But once the matter is before the courts, you would be placed on suspension. You will not be allowed to perform active duty while you have a matter before the court of law, if you're arrested and charged.
Okay. Yes. But if it's an internal investigation, you are still on duty.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How long could the internal investigation take?
You can take for as long, based on the nature of the investigation, the offense, and the evidence that you have to gather. It can take as long.
As long, like a year,
yes.
2 years.
Yes, I don't want to put in time frame in it. But
okay.
It can take long, or some of them it can take a short period as well.
Okay.
Vice versa. Yes.
All right, so we got 1 minute left for today's edition of Cop Chat. So, any final thoughts of encouragement for the public? Anything that we would have missed?
Right. So before I finish the program, I just want to shout out Sergeant Cornelius Ross. He is my deputy at Public Relations and Complaints. I want to thank him very, very much on the rest of my staff as well. But I want to thank him very much for this program. When we started discussion about the Cop Chat program, I proceeded on vacation leave just about that time, and he continued the negotiations with WEFM management and yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And this program has been an inspiration to many Vincentians, and I want to thank him very much for his hard work and dedication to duty. I also want to thank the public, for their support, for their patience with us. We do not always get it right. We do not always get it right either. But what I want the public to know is that we are committed to your safety and your security. We are committed to serving and protecting you. We are committed to ensuring that you are safe in your homes, when you walk the street. And Christal, and to your listeners, we just started a new initiative. It is called Crime Prevention and You, where it's in collaboration with Agency for Public Information, where we record and upload and post the crime prevention tip of the week, advising the public on how they can safeguard, themselves, their property, their livestock, and so forth. So that's something new we just started about 2 weeks ago. It's all geared towards, making Simmons and Grenadines a safer place. The police alone cannot do it. It takes the entire country. It takes the farmers, the fishermen, the teachers, the students, the media, the lawyers, the doctors, the man on the street. It takes everybody to ensure that our country remains safe and secure for our citizens and visitors alike. So I want to encourage the public. Yes, we may falter at times, but don't make that, make you hold back your support from the police. When you support the police, you're supporting the country. You're supporting your family, your children. You're supporting everybody.
Okay. As we wrap up, I think after, you should check out some comments on the live. Somebody is talking about complaints, but the complaint is specific to another citizen. From what I understand, it's not really police. So I think that's something that should be dealt with in a separate, separately. All right. So thank you so much for joining us today, and all the best. Take care.
Thank you very much.
All right, no problem. All right, and there you have it for today, Cop Chat for today, Thursday. Join us again